there, this is Beth over at Canine Companion Consulting. Welcome to our webinar on dog-to-dog introductions. I hear you have a new addition to your family, and I'd like to give you a few tips to make that transition and addition more successful. So the first thing that I would recommend that you do is to have the dogs meet, ideally prior to adoption, but if you've already adopted, that's great. Have the dogs meet in a neutral area. So not anywhere that the dogs have been before, maybe at a park. That is a great place. The other thing that you'll need is 2 handlers at least, maybe 3. And each person should have each dog on a leash and let them get used to the area. And perhaps they don't meet quite yet, right? So just get them comfortable with the new place that they're at, let them sniff around. Then what you want to do is have them get closer and closer to one another. And really, really important is to keep those leashes loose. We don't want to tighten on the leash, because if dogs are meeting and the leash is tight, that could start an issue. So dogs can't behave naturally if the leash is loose. The second thing that you want to do is make sure that you follow the dog where the dog wants to go. Make sure those leashes don't get tangled. So A, the leashes need to be loose, and B, do what we call the doggy dance. So that means just following the dog around and let them sniff each other's rear ends or wherever they want to go, and watch their body language. Are they loose and wiggly? Are they stiff and uncomfortable? So that's going to tell you a lot right there. Knowing about how to read a dog's body and their signs is really crucial to this first meeting. We want it to be positive. I would not involve food, because if there's tension around food, then that could set us up for having a problem. If that first meeting goes well, and maybe make it short and sweet. It doesn't have to be long. It should be no more than a few minutes. And then maybe you go and do a little bit more sniffing around the park and see if they're interested. Do they want to meet again? And if they do, you can have another greeting, and that might look similar. So loose leash, doggy dance, following them around, letting them not feel that tension on the leash. If it is in a safe place and you feel like their interactions are going well, you could drop the leashes and let them play a little bit if they're both wanting that. So if one dog is avoiding or sniffing and looking away, then that's not a good idea. You may want to have a canine behavior consultant present to make sure that the interactions are positive and that you aren't missing any of the signs that one dog or both dogs are uncomfortable or not. So the second thing that I would do is, when you do that preferably a few times and the meetings go well, then it's maybe time to bring that new dog home. What I would recommend that you do is think about resources to the dogs. So when I say resources, that means toys, food, places, resting places, sometimes even humans. So what does each dog find valuable? Picking up toys and putting away bones and pig's ears and raw hides, or anything that's of value to either dog, just put them away so they're out of the equation. The other thing that you might want to do is feed the dogs separately and out of sight of one another, so there's no tension over food. Making sure that you supervise the dogs at all times when they're together, at least for the first month or so, just to make sure that things are going smoothly. Just because they go well on the first few days does not mean that the rest of the time that the dogs are going to be together, that they're going to be fine. Things change over time, especially with the new dog coming into the home. That dog is in a new place and not necessarily comfortable. It's kind of like me picking you up and putting you on another planet or in another country. It's going to take you time to adjust and get comfortable. So that new dog needs that time to get acclimated. The other thing to consider is over time, dogs change and resources are usually what things that they fight over. So over time, you could, leave out some things that they mutually like to play with, but again, supervise. And if you're not sure, then I would highly recommend that you get a trainer in to make sure that things are going well. One of the things that I see often in our training is that people wait until the fights get really serious. And I like to get in there when we see any little growl or any little posturing, because that makes the training go so much faster. If one of your friends that you live with hits you, it's going to take you a while to feel comfortable again with that person. And it's the same with dogs. If I can't trust you, then how am I supposed to feel comfortable in your presence? So catching it early, if there is a problem, is really important. So I hope that this short video helps you in getting the two dogs comfortable around each other, or multiple dogs. So if there are multiple dogs, then you want to do this with each pairing before you put them all together. There could be other things that need to happen depending on the dogs and their dynamics, but that would be more specific to that issue. So again, congratulations on your new addition, and we wish you lots of woofs. And if you need anything, here is our contact information. You can certainly contact us if you have any questions. If you are interested in learning more about dog training and dog training tips, feel free to sign up for our newsletter, Words of Woofdom. We send it out maybe once a week, maybe less, depending on if we have something important to say. Thank you so much. And again, congratulations.